stop what you're doing for a second, because what I'm hearing out of Allen Park has the kind of ripple that changes the temperature of the whole NFC North. Not a rumor you toss on a group chat and forget by dinner. This is the kind that makes coaches revisit the call sheet, makes wideouts think twice about slants, and makes quarterbacks reset their eyes at the line. You want a real upgrade right now? Keep listening. I'm talking about a move that screams urgency without panic, calculated without being conservative. The type of plug-and-play piece you bring in when your season is alive, your window is open, and your standard is January football or bust. It's not a splash for the sake of the headline. It's a football decision with teeth, savvy, mean, and perfectly on brand for this staff. Here's the vibe. Battle-tested, playoff-hardened, NFC North literate. Someone who recognizes our cadences, our landmarks, our leverage rules because he's seen them from the other sideline and punished them. A veteran who plays like a grown man, who doesn't flinch when the game squeezes tight in the fourth quarter, who turns close into hours. Tonight, I'll lay out why the front office would move now, what problem this solves on the field, how it fits the culture in that locker room, and what the cost probably looks like. We'll talk scheme, timing, health, leadership, and yeah, what it says about how Detroit sees itself this very minute. No fluff, no fairy tale, just football truth. You're watching Lions News Fan. Report our corner of the internet for straight talk and blue-collar brains. If you ride with this kind of breakdown, hit that subscribe and drop a like so more Lions fans find it. This community makes noise and the league hears it. Let's get into the meat. Set the scene. The secondary has been holding a lot of rope, and then the rope frayed. Young talent you want for the next 5 years? It's real. But next 5 years doesn't help on 2nd and 8 this Sunday. You need someone who can line up outside, survive on an island, play through the hands, and turn half windows into bad decisions. You need a pro who doesn't blink when coordinators hunt matchups. The staff's DNA is toughness with intention. They love long corners who compete at the catch point, who are physical without being sloppy, who can live in press but aren't lost in off-match concepts. You want a guy who studies splits, who knows when to midpoint a route and when to bait a throw, who has the patience to stay square and the juice to trigger downhill like a safety. And let's not pretend vibes don't matter. This room respects grown-ups' voices that talk with their pads first and then say just enough in meetings to pull the young guys forward. If you're coming in mid-season, you better arrive with answers, not questions. How do you settle the top of a route? How do you pass off and match? Where do your eyes go when 2 turns into 3? That's what earns instant trust. When you build the target profile, it keeps pointing back to one archetype, outside corner. Length, ball production, instincts as a robber when asked, enough long speed to stay attached, and a memory like a goldfish. Get beat, cool line up again. See it once, store it, steal it later. Add in NFC North familiarity and a little chip. That's the recipe. All right, here's what's buzzing in and around the building. The move is Russell Douglas to Detroit. That's the name. That's the fit. That's the energy. Around the league, people are whispering it's lined up. Some even calling it confirmed from an internal standpoint greenlit target. Pathway clear, team-level alignment. To be crystal, no transaction is real until it hits the wire. But this is the corner whose tape and temperament check every one of our boxes. Why him? Start with the toolkit. He's patient at the line and violent at the catch point. He plays with those veteran eyes. You can see him feel route combos. You can see the little half shuffle before he jumps the outbreak. He's not just chasing. He's dictating. When quarterbacks learn the hard way, it's usually because he's baited the hitch, mirrored the slant, or high-pointed the 50-50s like it was thrown to him. Scheme fit. It's clean. In our coverage menu press bail, match quarters, a fair amount of 3 with the corner responsible for squeezing the outside. He's super comfortable staying on top and then driving through the hands. He's played in varied systems, so the language won't spook him. And when we spin the trap, he understands leverage like a math teacher. That means turnovers, or at minimum 3rd and longs. There's also the scene it factor. This division is petty and personal. He studied these receivers, these coordinators, these double moves on the same outdoor fields in the same code. That matters in November and December when your cleats feel like bricks and one misstep becomes 6 points. You can't teach weather memory in a week. He already owns it. What about costs? You're not emptying the cupboard. This is the kind of veteran acquisition that usually sits in that day 3-ish range, valuable enough to start, affordable enough to stomach, especially if there's a partial year rental flavor. Contract-wise, nothing that would handcuff off-season plans. Think chess move, not mortgage. You pay for certainty on Sunday's dot cap mechanics? The front office has ways to smooth numbers, small restructures, rolling voids if needed, and a clean exit lane next spring if the partnership is meant to be short. The point is optionality. You stabilize today without stealing from tomorrow. You give your young corners a mentor, and you give your pass rush that extra tick of time that turns hurries into sacks. Depth chart impact is straightforward. He walks in and takes real snaps outside. But current vets don't vanish. They slide into roles that match their strengths: nickel, matchup slots, special packages. Your rookies and young guys breathe. The DC can call the aggressive stuff he loves without crossing his fingers. It's not dramatic. It's adult football. There are risks. Mid-season transitions aren't plug and pray. Terminology changes, spacing rules shift, and flags love aggressive corners learning teammates' tells. Age is age. But the tape says his game travels. Eyes, patience, play strength. If you're going to bet on a mid-season corner, you bet on habits, not just traits. He's got habits. What this signals about the franchise is my favorite part. It says, we're not waiting for the cavalry in March. It says, this locker room earned action with how it fights. It says, if we can add one more grown man starter to close the defensive loop, we do it. That's a contender's mindset. That's the difference between hoping for a bye and actually taking one. And for the young corners, iron sharpens iron. Walk into individual period and watch how a vet plays the hands late, how he disguises the opening step in press, how he stays patient when a receiver tries to win with foot fire and flash. That accelerates development in ways no meeting can. Your future gets better because your present gets smarter. This is where you come in. Would you pull the trigger? What's the fair price? Do you value proven ball skills over the dream of maybe next year the jump happens? Especially when the standings say today matters? Drop your take below, package ideas, snap share predictions. Who sits? Who moves inside? I'll be in the comments debating it with you, because this one is juicy. My view. If the cost sits in that reasonable day 3 neighborhood, I'm in. Rasso gives Detroit exactly what this moment demands: stability outside, a little thump at the catch point, and veteran calm when the game gets late. But let me underline it. Until it hits the league wire, this is speculation, not an official team announcement. I like the fit, I like the timing, and I'd make the call because windows don't stay open by themselves.